So today's video we are working on some Halloween crafts because it is a spooky season and I love to work on and craft the whimsical of Halloween. What does a gumball machine have to do with the season? Well, let me share with you. So the red doesn't have much to do with what I want to use this for, so we are going to take it apart and we are going to spray paint. Yeah, I did say that. We are going to spray paint this a different color. So let's get it apart. Just got to get that little bolt loosened up there. It's easier if you can take it apart to paint these. Off to the side, set the glass off to the side. And looks like we can take the bottom out. Oh, we can wash the bottom. And then we're going to tape this off. I still want to keep that detail. So anything that I can take off, I'm going to take off. And I'm going to start with protecting this area. Now that I have that area taped off, we are of course going to tape off that area to see which way it's easier. And I like to tape this in the upward position. That way when I go to spray it, I don't have to worry about lifting that up and down. Actually, I turned it over and everything fell out. So I go, okay, then I will just go ahead and spray the whole thing. Now I'm going to take some rubbing alcohol and we're going to attempt to get this clean. Meaning after I got that open, I'm like, oh, that's a little bit on the dirty side. Okay, I'm going to start off with spray painting the bottom of it first, and I'm just going to use this Rust-Oleum farm implement because it is glossy. My one side is dry now, so we can go ahead and flip it over and paint the rest. Okay, I think we're painted. And we can get them back. We can get it back together. Okay, here's the fun part. Do I remember how to get it back together? We will find out. Actually, I think that part goes on there. And then that. Part. Okay, I got it going on here. Sometimes you just have to take a peek, see. I know there's a scratch on that glass. I want that one towards the back. Great! Yes, I'm filling it up. I bought these little, hello, little jack-o'-lantern buckets off of Amazon. So take that back apart And then we're going to go ahead and see how many I can fit in here. Not as if the gumball machine you'd ever get. Well, that one's not so nice. He smashed. Huh? Trying to get them so their little faces are towards, yeah, my goal and what will really happen. I might as well just do that. There we go. Oh. I should be able to go ahead and, you know me, I like to pack my stuff. No, he's scraped. His nose is scraped. That makes him a good project piece. Oh my gosh, so cute. So if you saw my bendy knee elf head one, that's what this was inspired by. I'm like, I want to make one for Halloween. Though I don't have a ton of bendy Halloween one dolls heads. I can have, I think that's it. I think that's all I can get in there as I'm trying to stuff more in there. Ta-da! Now I have to see though. Did I put too many in? And no. All I did was tighten that up, I think. And then, oop. Well done, I gotta take it apart again. Okay, now that goes. Now this can go. And then that piece. And then this piece. We'll get it all together. Okay, we got it back together, but these came and they are very orange. So I think it does not match close enough. I do have this white, and then I need to cricket out like a little pumpkin or something for there. I don't know, you just need a little bit of ribbon. Guess you don't have to have a little bit of ribbon, but I want a little bit of a ribbon. I've always wanted to try one of the ghost canvases, and when I got this in a haul and auction, it's nothing fancy. It's just a print on canvas. So I want to try that trendy make a ghost out of a picture. I think that would be fun. Okay, here's my, like I said, it's not anything. It's just, if you can tell, there's not really crackles. So I'm going to start off with some gray, some little lamb gray. I know you're like, you're painting a ghost, but we want that background. So I'm just actually going to take, ooh, there we go. Her shape. When I got this in a haul, I'm like, oh, I get to do one of those paintings, or attempt to do one of those paintings. Hard part is letting the glue or the paint dry in between. Actually, I have to say this is painting rather well. Okay, my paint's pretty much dry. So now I'm going to go in with Fusion's Picket Fence. See how the background of the gray just kind of makes the ghost pop instead of having to do a whole bunch of whites. Method to my madness. Okay, now this coat is dry, so I'm going to go in with the second coat, but I don't want it to be heavy and see brush strokes. So I'm just going to go ahead and water that down. And I'll start to work out towards those edges. Letting it dry means I'm taking a heat gun very gingerly over it and helping it dry. Using what paints I have on hand. So I want to do like a little faded, like, you know, the ghost has a glow around the edges, but I can't really do that with Fusion because it's got a top coat and a primer in it. So I'm going to see if I can do that with the DIY chalk paint. What is that called? Not. Doesn't matter. Just paint away. Now I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to put a couple. We want to look like folds. Especially since the whites don't necessarily match. Okay, now I'm going to start adding some gray using the same brush I had my white and watering it down that way. And then this is all wet. I did a little bit more white. I just didn't want them to look like this paint stroke, so. But our ghost needs a little bit of character. I think I like my lines. I didn't want them to be so defined, but a little bit of character. Okay, so now I want to do I'm going to draw a pencil first. Give myself a guideline. I knew it, see? There you go. I'm not, well, and see, that's why I wanted to draw it on first. I don't know. I really do like how the bottom part turned out. Okay, I'm going to do a crackle over the top of this, just to kind of bring it all together just for fun. But I want to seal everything in because some of that is the chalk-based paint or the clay-based paint that might like spread once I'm doing it. So I'm going to seal it in with some weather defense. I'm going to use the Pen Art Crackle. Okay, so I got the Pen Art Classic Crackle. So I'm just going to stick my brush in there. And we're going to put it over the whole thing. A nice generous coat. My ghost is disappearing. The bottle may look small, but I've done a lot of projects with this. Okay, then we have to let it dry before applying the second step. Okay, so it probably took about an hour for this to completely dry. I didn't do like a ton of the heat gun because I had sprayed it with a clear coat, but I really love how that fading went in. So now we're going on to the second step, the varnish, and then the chemical reaction somehow between the two products should cause a crackle. And as you see, you can tell when it's dry because it's clear. Now you don't want to work this too much, but you do want to get a nice even coat on if you can. Just walk away and let it do its magic. So my second part 2 is dry, and I can see them, but I don't know if you can see them until we put some wax on there. Oh, goodness gracious. So I'm going to go in with Aging Wax by Fusion. I don't want it to be terribly dark. And what's going to happen is the wax is going to stick in all those little cracks and crevices and make it look old. So let's do the white because I think you'll see that a little bit better. So I took this modern ghost. I even want to call him a modern ghost. See, look at. So far, I have that. The classic crackle has not failed me yet. It is just a sweet little mouse, and can I turn it into Halloween decorations? So what to do with a little mouse? He's so cute. So we're going to turn him into some Halloween decor, though I want to see if I can get the broom off of his hand. I think it's just a pipe cleaner that has been wrapped around, I think, or he might get a shorter hand if I can't get it off. Okay, so unfortunately, I'm sorry, little guy. Well, you know, that's okay. I'm not going to do anything with that right now, but I am going to remove the tag that's on here. We don't want to see that. The broom I may use later, but for right now, he's got a little bit of oddities, but we're not worried about that right now. So oddly enough, I actually have two. So, you know, you never know what you're going to get in an auction haul. I love the little tails. He must have been attached to something. I'm not too worried about that because I'm actually going to glue them on to these little pieces. So some hot glue. Probably doesn't matter which way I'm going, just to get him on top of this. And then we're going to do the same with this guy. Though his tail's in front of him, we're going to put his tail behind him. And I'm going to kind of just center him right in the middle. I guessed it, yes, I'm making the little mice into ghosts. So I'm going to take some cheesecloth, but this is too white for them. They are more primitive, especially putting them on those wooden pieces. So I'm going to get that out of my roll, and then we're going to coffee stain dye it. I'm going to add a little instant coffee to some water. It's so easy to stain fabric like this, and then you just put it in the. It's amazing how fast this is, and then we're just going to sit this off to the side and let it dry. Okay, next I'm going to take some stiffening spray. I want these to stay out a little bit more, and they keep folding in, and then you see he's got some wonkiness with his little whiskers. So this is just some quick dry stiffening spray. So I'm just going to separate them anyway, and then spray a little bit on these. See if we can get these to stick out a little bit more. Okay, got my fabric, got my little mouse. So I'm just going to guesstimate how much to make him a ghost we're going to need. Just trying to see if I have it folded. Now I need to make little slits for his ears. Probably the hardest part of this whole thing is cutting this part out. That we're not cutting it too big, or. And then we're just going to pull his ear through. We're going to pull his other ear through. That's why we wanted them to be stiff. And then we need to do so he can breathe. But it will stretch, so you don't need a huge hole. See? It stretches. I need to get his whiskers out. We need to see his eyebulbs. And then you just play with it a little bit. Oh my gosh. How absolutely adorable is that? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to play a little bit. I'm going to use his arms to kind of hold out the fabric. We'll see if that works or not. Just the way this piece is. Oh my gosh. And then we'll probably do a little hot glue to hold it. So I'm just bunching this up a little bit in the back to get it to lay nice. Nicer anyway. A little bit tighter. And we're just dabbing it. Now that I have it kind of laying the way I want it, I'm going to find my shortest point and cut it to there. Be very careful not to cut his tail. And I think I can give him his broom back. I'm just trying to make it not be so flat. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see if I can do similar to this little guy. So fold this in half, make a slit. A place for his face. Okay, a little bit more. The thing is, you can scrunch the fabric and then glue it. So don't. The hardest is probably finding the mice. Just the way his little face is, I'm just letting the hot glue gun touch a little bit, just enough to keep those little threads back. Looking at the shorter one, trying to figure out, okay, where do I want to cut that? Once you make the cut, sooner or later I have to make that cut. And then I think I'm going to have him holding one of the jack-o'-lanterns from Tim Holtz. So I'm going to push up that little fabric here. We're going to put some hot glue. He came out with these last year, maybe? Or the year before that. I think it was the Santa mugs last year. Once I get it the way I want it, I'm going to spray stiffening spray around all that so that it doesn't move. So thank you so much for watching. I know that Halloween DIYs is not everybody's jam. I only do a video here and there on that subject, but I just love crafting it. So thanks you so much for watching today's video, and we will see you next time, and you can see what I'm up to. Bye.